This is one of those videos where the rubber meets the road because we're going to get into how to do product keyword research, at least the basics of it, so that you can get up and running very successfully with your listing. So we actually have to start right at the start. So before you can write your listing, before you can put certain words in there that will trigger your listing to appear in Amazon search, you have to know what people are actually typing into Amazon to find and buy products like yours. So this is why I say that product keyword research is one of the most overlooked factors to having success in this business, and that is nailing the keywords for an Amazon product, okay? You have to understand the high concept here is that every single item that's ever been sold on Amazon ever was preceded by a real person, a visitor who went to Amazon and started typing something into that search bar. And they're not, it's not like on Google where people are searching information. Amazon is the world's largest e-commerce search engine. They are there to buy. So the keyword process is slightly different than if you have like an SEO background or you've built, keyword research for a Google Ads campaign, AdWords campaign. This is different. These are keywords that people that are on the cusp of buying, so they tend to be commercial intent type of keywords. And what are they typing in? And what are the keyword variations people are typing in? Because humans have infinite creativity in the way that they describe and explain stuff when they're typing in these types of searches. So how do we get a holistic view of what is driving the sales the moment a visitor starts typing something into that search box? Okay, this is what this is all about. If you don't understand how to do product keyword research, then you will miss out on a ton of sales, because it means that if you don't have those words weaved into your listing at some point, then Amazon A9 is the top secret ranking algorithm that Amazon uses to trigger which listings appear when somebody does do one of these search queries. If you don't have an understanding and a grasp of the best product keywords out there for your product, then your listing simply won't show up. Your product won't show up for those searches, for at least a lot of searches that it could be showing up for. And guess what? If your listing doesn't show up for a lot of keywords that it should be showing up for, then you're never going to get those sales because the listing isn't showing up. So while you're waiting for your first product to arrive, we now need to learn how to do product keyword research for your product. So this is the exciting part. You can do this. Even if you've never done something like this, you can do it. And if you have a little bit of background, I would just say hit the reset button mentally, because I don't want you to try to bring your old world into this new world. Amazon keyword research is a different animal. So here's a question for you. Isn't it pretty much everything we do on Amazon, isn't it designed to make our product more visible to potential buyers? Yes. So put another way, if you want to sell a lot of your product, then the mission here is to get Amazon visitors to discover, and there's a reason why I italicize the word discover. It's all about getting them to discover or stumble upon our product when they're doing these various searches, okay? So the fact is, human beings use an infinite variety of creative ways, sometimes stupid ways, but they're ways nonetheless to describe the same product. So, the classic example I like to teach is Ma and Pa Kettle, middle America, not real tech savvy. Sometimes if they want to buy a product, they don't even know the best way to describe it. So they're just going to use plain words. And they use many different terms and different variations to describe the exact same thing. So in this example on the slide here, take just even a basic object, a frying pan. I mean, it doesn't get any more plain Jane than a frying pan. Yet, some people call it a frying pan. Other people might type in non-stick pan, or frying pan set, or electric frying pan, or square frying pan, or best frying pan, or cheap frying pan, or stir fry pan with lid, etc., 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 etc. So even for the most basic product, you're going to get a bunch of different variations that can trigger sales for your product. So knowing this, doesn't it make sense that if we want people to discover our frying pan, that we first need to know all the different ways that the Ma and Pa Kettles out there might describe a frying pan when they're searching? And the answer is yes. The problem is that hardly anyone is doing this process correctly, okay? They are costing themselves a lot of easy sales on Amazon. And I love the screenshot. They misspelled school. Well, that's what's known as a keyword error. All right. So on this video, we're going to cover product keyword research basics. We're going to actually break this up into a couple of videos into bite-sized chunks so that you can just take it one video at a time. So let's just get right to it. You're about to learn my streamlined method for doing product keyword research. It's going to cover about 80% of the keyword variation used by Ma and Pa Kettle. Okay. And one more thing before we get started. You need to think of keywords this way. Every single keyword is a potential source of sales for you. Isn't that interesting? Because if Ma and Pa Kettle come up with some, well, let's put it this way, a unique search query to find a frying pan, if you have done better research on keywords than the other sellers, they're going to see your frying pan and they're going to have a high probability of buying it. Does that make sense? So keywords, in my mind, represent the single most valuable traffic source within the Amazon ecosystem, okay? And it's kind of like 1,000 small tributaries. Like this is a screenshot of the Amazon River, pun intended, but the Amazon River, you know, all these little tributaries that drain into it end up causing a raging, very powerful river indeed. And that's how you have to look at your keywords. All these keywords, some are going to be more valuable than others, but they all in totality end up in a raging river, a giant tsunami wave of traffic, okay? We want all roads leading to your listing. So what you'll discover, you often can't predict it in advance which keywords will make you all the money. So that's why the research stage is important to do right. You discover which keywords your listing is converting for later, but if you don't have that keyword in there, then you can't convert for it. It all comes down to this. If your product is visible for only 5 keywords instead of hundreds, you're severely limiting what you can make on Amazon. With that, what do you say we get started? The product keyword research breaks down into 4 easy steps. And in classic Ben Cummings style, we provide the SOPs for you, the standard operating procedures. We're going to break this process down into a few videos here so you can tackle this in bite-sized pieces. And we're going to put the relevant SOPs underneath the videos, just like we've done throughout this course. But if we chunk it down, the first step is to identify the 10 most important keywords. We call these the major keywords. Then we have a second task, and that is to identify the minor keywords. The minor keywords, it's a very simple definition here. Minor keywords are all the other keywords that are relevant and pertinent that aren't within the top 10 that you identified. So we kind of chunk this down into 3 simple bite-sized pieces. What are your 10 most important keywords? We call those the major keywords. And in most cases, those are the keywords that have the highest exact phrase monthly search volume. Okay. Then all the other keywords go under minor. So there's no limitation under minor. You can have 30, 40, 50 keywords there. Then there's a process called reverse ASIN. You remember what an ASIN is from one of the earlier videos. The ASIN is, well, every single Amazon product has a unique identifier called an ASIN number. And so there is a ninja tool called reverse ASIN. This is where you can actually plug in the ASIN for your top 5 competitors' products, and then you can reverse engineer the exact keywords that they're ranking for in order for how they're making all their sales. I mean, is that wild or what? It's like a Sherlock Holmes reverse engineering process, okay? And then to organize everything, you're going to use our keyword spreadsheet. Okay, so we're going to get started on the next video. So please proceed there, and we will tackle the first step in this keyword research process.